You know, there are recordings in which I end up just not using because maybe I have maybe I have another idea during the day, or maybe I just mess it up somewhere and then I'm like, well, I can't save this with an edit as we get Zictast, Curious Birthmark, random item stats with 3 custom mysteries. So, we'll talk about some recording stuff because I have some fun stories for you today. I don't know if I'll actually get to all of them. Heck, I don't even probably get through one, but we'll do our best. So, we'll do one more run here. I think we have one more run. If it's not, I know I played this character at least once, but Curious Birthmark into Zictast with random item stats. So, as we get into Zictast, Curious Birthmark, random item stats, custom character with 3 custom mysteries. Yes, I do have audio problems. It often has to do with just me and my setup, but that's not really an excuse, because I think you could do well as a content creator if you know what you're doing, basically. Takshisan, and you get lucky, obviously. There is an element of luck that I won't deny, I feel, anyway, at least in my opinion. Second encounter, charisma, strength, dexterity, light. And let's actually build with the hardware store in mind. Now, if this run goes absolutely terrible, maybe we do one more video with this character, but for the moment, we'll stick with what we've got. So no illegal in this time, watch me actually get Ward. And away we go. So we get the rumor immediately. Good figure stuff. And we will move on. So, what do we have on our plate? We have Coma Painting. No Ward anywhere, but not that it matters. Phantasm's Goal and Labyrinth. Wow. Coma last, Painting fourth, I guess. So that means Phantasm's Goal, Labyrinth. So we're going to take Goal first. I don't remember if there was something really bad here. I think there was, actually. So I just oofed myself. But we'll make do with what we've got. So for those who may or may not know, I am playing another game on this channel. I didn't mean to do that. Well, actually, if we get a Army Knife, or never mind, I'm lied. 7, 21, 22 speed, we're gonna reroll here. And heavy duty flashlight, okay, we're gonna do even less. Oh my goodness, we can't use the crowbar or the heavy duty flashlight. I guess the monkey wrench we go. But yes, I'm playing another game on this channel, and I was trying to record something. That one I ended up making a recording that I ended up not using. Ended up a lot. Anywho, ended up not using a recording, and that made me sad. And then I did a World of Horror recording around the same time, and that didn't go well either, so that made me really sad. We don't have Akamanto, so we should take the Gruesome Totem. However, we have 30% Doom, and this is not great either. And the story behind the World of Horror one, World of Horror usually results in audio issues for me. I don't know why. I'm pretty sure it's not the game. Most of the time, if not almost all the time, if not all the time, it's me switching in between games in OBS, because specifically I use audio settings. So while I was recording World of Horror, I finished the recording, and then 2 perception, well, that actually is not great, but we have the bandage, so that's great. Oh, that's fine. But yeah, I finished the recording, started editing it, and then I noticed that I had no audio, and I was like, why don't I have any audio? Like game audio and or mic audio. And then I realized that for some reason, when I switch to playing another game, usually, it's not just the other game I'm playing on this channel, this has happened in the past as well, I don't switch certain audio settings, or I turn them completely off or on, and that results in, well, having no audio for recording World of Horror. And then I just kind of sat back, thought about life for 10 seconds, and then got back to it. I would sit around for a minute, but I don't even have that much time, so yeah, that was that. And then as for the other game, I did usually do a longer form video, or basically a stream-like video, for those who don't know what that means. For me, stream-like video means I just play recording, and I don't, after I finish recording, that immediately gets directly uploaded. That's what I mean by stream-like. Now, if something happens in between, I edit, but that's when I just call it in a video. But yeah, I ended up, because I completely forgot that a certain event was happening in this game, and so I ended up just making a shorter video in total. Do I want to flip a coin today? I mean, I guess you might as well. We're taking 2 stamina, but we have stamina to lose, so we really only need to hit 2. Oh well, we need to flip this coin. Otherwise, I mean, yeah, we would have hit 3 stamina, but saving 2 stamina here would be nice too. And then as we enter the labyrinth, are they both named Gracier, by the way? Well, anywho, it's not actually cheating. So yeah, we did fight. The Gracier is our second encounter. Does that even matter? Do I need to worry about that? Yes, I do. It's the second check in my lighthouse, right after Takushi-san. So, yeah, we'll move on. But yeah, those are effectively one story, but we'll call them 2 stories here for the sake of just going through it. And yeah, another recent recording was I tried to do something, because I said before that I was doing a tabletop simulator recording. At this point, I'm still kind of practicing. Oh, why am I rolling on perception checks, by the way? We have 3 knowledge. I think we're just going to take a bunch of Doom as well. But I was trying to do a... Oh my goodness, a ton of lag. Oh, let me talk, game, even though I'm the one playing. But yeah, I was trying to do a tabletop simulator, and I'm kind of still going through the emotions of... Because for very, very long videos, I like to practice. I think that's just a good thing to do. Oh my goodness, hallucin... Oh, we died, by the way, because that put us below because of Zectast. I forgot about Zectast, actually. So we'll slap this really hard, and, you know, we'll lose here. And do another run, because house rules. But, as we move on here... Yeah, I was doing Tabletop Simulator, and I realized that it's usually through OBS, but in this case, I think it was a Tabletop Simulator issue, oddly enough, as we get Cthulhu Scars with 3 custom mysteries. And I realized that I have to tweak something that I plan to do for that. Now, it's not going to happen immediately, because I am... Essentially, I am preoccupied with playing the second game on this channel, but... As I forget what I was... I think it was Scars? Yeah, Scars. Scars Cthulhu, and yeah, away we go. So, as we get into our next run, don't need to announce it here, because timestamps are timestamps. Yeah. A lot of funny things happened in the past few days, so... Thankfully, there weren't, like, bad things. There are things I could recover easily from, but could easily be something like my setup explodes and I lose all my data, which would be weird. Second mystery, dexterity, charisma, light, toxicon, and maybe a strength check. No second encounter check, but we do have a strength check, so let's work on strength. Both in-game and out-of-game. On a tangent note, I talked about me being on a diet and whatnot before. Feels pretty good. I should have used these library notes. I was feeling too good about myself. But let's just say that losing 15 to 20% of your total weight feels good when you are also pairing that with proper dieting, not just going crazy, as we do actually, because... So we actually do take Kana here, because we have 3 custom mysteries. Shiba's, Television, and Auteur. And I guess Sailors can be last, so we'll take Kana first. But... What was I talking about? Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, so yeah, feel good. As it turns out, I think the biggest part of my weight loss was actually eating less. And when I say that, I don't mean eating an unhealthy amount less. This is not advice, by the way. Please don't hurt me, robots, or anyone else. But I was eating a lot more than I really should with my body. Shrug, that's all I have to say. Prep brace. We can. Would I like to gamble on a monkey wrench, though? Yeah, I would. So, yeah, let's grab that and move on with life. Base stats, so don't have to worry. 80 speed, 60 accuracy. I need to remember that because I always forget Monkey Wrench's base stats. Among with everything else I'm remembering, how can I not talk about other games when it literally has to do with me here? But, 10 Doom, 5 Stamina. That is interesting. But because rests are better, I will not do that. But, that being said, if you need Stamina, then you probably should have taken Daddy's Girl there. Otherwise, here we are. Doing our best. So didn't I set it at the school? Why am I still at max threat level? Did I not set the police? Oh, I set them on downtown like the fool I was. Hopefully we have more school investigations. I don't even remember. I know we have Television and Auteur, but maybe I should have set village, knowing I said those mystery names and I was like, aren't we going to the village more than the school? But I guess I'm gonna find out more. Basically, I'm trying to remember and learn a lot of things, or retain a lot of, remember a lot of things, because the second game I'm playing on this channel, I have played before in a different language, but I don't remember as much as I should. Anywho, so yeah, with Kana and Scars, we're not taking a lot of damage. It's the events that are going to slap me in the face, left, right, and center. But as long as we survive the events, we should be good. I was going to say encounters, I'm going absolutely insane. But here we are. Approach. Yeah. A pack of cigarettes for 2 Doom. That's, I mean, when you consider that you spend 1 to 2 Doom grabbing cigarettes anyway, if more so to grab the funds to do so, hey, so let's just take the reason here. That's right, we are on Cthulhu, and theoretically we do lose all of our reason here, but as long as we don't get locked out of Bath, we should survive. Otherwise, this is going to be a very short video. Relative to how long they can usually be. Now, that being said, this video does have 2 runs in it, as OBS decides to freak out in the background, but I mean, I have videos that go out. I just noticed that this sprite here goes a little out, but that's fine. Immersion, but yeah, I have done single run videos in which it's taken, what, 15, 17 minutes? So we'll see how long this one takes. I'm not purposely trying to speedrun, it's just what's happening. So, as we move into our second mystery here and get our reason back, you should usually celebrate having scars as your backstory, if I were to say anything, but unfortunately, I worry about events more. Doop, boop, boop, boop. That being said, I have looked around for other games, but at this point, I'm pretty much at full capacity. As I mentioned before, I can actually juggle about 3 games to upload videos on this channel, and or stream, really. But my own comfort level dictates that 2 is usually my max. I can push 3, but that's probably not smart, especially since I'm doing game development. But, anywho. I swear I don't mention game development just to try and look cool. That's literally what I try to do. Now, again, I'm kind of juggling my schedule at the moment, but it would be great to finish something. That being said, I have talked about swerving a lot, and I am still doing mini swerves here and there, primarily as they have to do with sprites. If you haven't heard me talk about it before, I'm having some difficulty getting my sprites. It's not something that I need to look up and learn about. It's just literally a tweak in C. Although, if I improve my GIMP skills, that's the software, not the actual name. Don't hurt me, robots. But basically working on pixel art is difficult. It's fun, and it's not like tedious, but I think the only tedious... Oh, please hit this. I was about to say, I was going to lose a bunch of stamina if I didn't hit that there. I am autopiloting as well, but yeah, we'll take this normally, but we will take strength as well, because monkey wrench and the strength check in the lighthouse. Basically, there are things I could do to set myself up to make less mistakes when doing pixel art. A very common one, even though it doesn't sound like it, but for anyone else, I guess learning pixel art, for, you know, if you were to receive advice from an amateur or fool, because I assume you guys are wise men, and wise men can learn much more from fools, but, let's see, hold on, yeah, television, because we have a boss here. Making templates is good. Documentation helps as well, but essentially templates. So what I mean by that specifically is when you do something that's a good idea or a bad idea, write it down somewhere. In my case, I have Sublime Text open. I can literally type notes down. So something along the lines of, hey, I like to set guide. I forgot what they're called. Oh my goodness, not so-called amateur, by the way. Hold on, let me just fast focus. Okay, yeah, stamina for a reason. So there are guidelines, so say I like setting guidelines for every 24 pixels. I mentioned 24 specifically here because that's a very 24, 48. Those are very common numbers to see when you're working with RPG Maker assets. So I like to set guidelines, so basically in those multiples. Sometimes it's like 96, sometimes it's 128. You get the point. I don't think that's exactly a multiple of 24, but you get the point. You're trying to set up these guidelines so that maybe it makes it easier for you to, at a basic level, set up your assets so that they align with RPG Maker's guideline, or when you put it into RPG Maker in your RPG Maker game, then nothing wonky happens, like your character doesn't move off sprite, off a tile, or they walk correctly and they're not jaggedly, like this would not, if there were a sprite on screen where my mouse is walking vertically and they were moving as much side to side every frame, then that would not be good, and that's why you have guidelines to kind of help you work out. Now, again, what I was talking about was exactly the tweaking motion, or tweaking the assets. So sometimes a pixel looks out of place and I go back into, say, in this case, a character, or say a door opening sprite, and I go, I'm going to shift this pixel this way, that way. When I should really have like a template of sorts, or notes written down somewhere that say, hey, place these pixels here, or use this color so that when the color shifts, even though I don't really use that many colors myself, but basically so things look right. Even for World of 4, when you have things working left and right, I mean, anyone who's made a character and or more specifically an enemy for this game knows what I'm talking about. When something looks a bit out of place, usually you can see it yourself, but sometimes you can't. So hey, by the way, we're gonna level up now. Fast swimmer, that's right, this character has fast swimmer, so it would be nice to do a thing. Also, we have strength, so we should go for the attack here. We take -1 all, but if we do a lot of cool stuff like this, we should be perfectly fine. Fast swimmer being very, very good, unless I miss all 3 or 4 of these attacks. Oh my sweet goodness. Well. I think we guarantee. Is this guaranteed? I guess we're gonna find out. Yes, it is, because our prepare action is also buffed by Fast Swimmer. My goodness, Fast Swimmer is so good. So we got Daddy's Girl on top of the Restless bonus, which is why we heal 3 stamina. 2 reason? I'm going crazy. 1 reason. I'm going crazy. Didn't I? Oh no, that was the last run I had about it. Oh, look at you, look. Anywho, I misclicked. But yeah, moving on. But yeah, talking about taking notes and whatnot, it turns out taking notes and making templates, in my case with XCF files, but it could be anything really. You could drag and drop a PNG of a template you have and basically work with that. Even if it's not something sophisticated like, hey, I have a template of a human body so that I can make another human being character or something like that. We have 4 charisma, so we want to fail this. But we want to pass this next check, which I don't remember. Perception? I have 3, but I think the other one was knowledge. I don't remember. I really should just go through these Ito files. I don't know why I do this to myself. But anywho, let's see what we can do here. But yeah, as it turns out, making things easier for yourself, if nothing else, having templates makes your process a lot faster. That way you're not drawing from scratch. I'm sure a lot of artists have a template of some sort anywhere, of some sort sitting around in places, but obviously if we watch any artist streaming, they obviously start from scratch, but sometimes the template also exists in your head. There's a lot of, not nuance, but there's a lot of methods in which you can basically make art, as it turns out. For me, I like keeping templates, and then I kind of deviate from that. My justification, that's not the correct word, but my justification behind that, as we get rid of these burns, is that... Hold on, let me just make sure I'm doing things correctly. Let's level up here really quickly. Looting. Yeah, looting. Yeah, looting. I should take reason here just to be safe. And let us actually smoke this pack of cigarettes. We should be able to get another one. If nothing else, I'll tree for it and hope that our curse isn't good, bad. But yeah, the reason why I do it is because I believe, at least for myself, I'm not saying that anyone else has to do it. This is just my way. So if you want to hear my way, here it is. So I keep templates because I believe the small deviations allow me to innovate on myself. As opposed to, which I also believe in, but it's not something I do. It's basically starting from scratch and getting new, working on your creativity or innovating from basically nothing, which I do believe is a thing as well. It's just that for me, I often like to just deviate from what I have and see what innovations I make from there, if that makes any sense. If that doesn't make any sense, I don't know what else to say at the moment, because I need to not die here. So, that being said, with Kana and Scars, as we kind of, warp ourselves back into the game for a moment, you're not taking a lot of damage. Even with burns, I think that they counteract each other. It would be very weird, and this is when we're going into dev talk, it would be very weird if we still took extra damage. That could happen. Maybe you have a priority system in which there's damage mitigation, but afterward, if you have something like burns in the case of World of Horror, it just adds on, so things still do an extra point of damage because you mitigate the damage first, and then you apply a thing. And in that case, you would in my opinion, you should add something along the lines of this effect activates or whatnot, or takes priority after damage mitigating effects, but something along those lines. So we can toss the Ritual Robe. I could toss the Painkillers, but I guess we're gonna wait and see. And hopefully, well, we actually can't one-shot this, so we might as well brace instead. We do have Toxison, I believe, but if we keep the handcuffs, we should be okay. Yeah, I think we should be okay. Question mark? I'm gonna spread these out to try and hit as many attacks as possible, but hopefully things work out. Right after this recording, I promise you, I'm about to basically use up all of my energy to not be too specific, but anywho. And it'll be something to do while I'm looking at this. Well, now I'm looking at a chair sprite on screen over to my right. But I think I've got it figured out. There is a thing to say about, and you'd be surprised how much you can get away with, not with pixel art, but just in the art in general, as long as it's not jarring to the eye. What I mean by that is, so for RPG Maker specifically, there are... Oftentimes, I'll just say it outright, oftentimes when people make an RPG, they don't have a sitting animation, which you essentially just use a standing animation on top of a chair. Now, you do want the person to be looking, or the character to be looking in the direction of the chair when you, or have different animations for looking up, down, left, and right, which is normally normal, but oh my goodness, I took Doom in the face. We have to monument now. I think we just take stamina here. Yeah, I'm gonna take stamina here. Do we have any other items? No. But I can't really do much else. I guess we'll look to handcuff Tachi-san. I feel better for that because we don't have a thing. I think that's the first time I've seen that event, actually. But let's toss these handcuffs and let's toss this ritual robe. I'm keeping the painkillers in case something happens. We weren't on timeline B, but we could have. And just to end the topic before this video ends, before I can finish anything. But yeah, you essentially have, you can get away with not adding animations in a game, so long as it's not too jarring. Like, obviously you want to have your sprite, or your character sprites have an up, down, left, right animation with walking animations, but whether they have sitting animations or not, depends on you. Would be nice, but you don't have to. Second mystery, dexterity, charisma, light, so we're losing 5 reason. And do we have that strength check? We do, so we're at 91% Doom. But we should survive no matter what, especially since we have Kana and we're on the Scar's backstory. I snap my fingers to try and... That's one of my small ways of getting my mind working, as odd as that sounds. Shibas. But anywho, yeah, as we get to the end of this video, if nothing else, yeah, I'll do what I can. We get nicotine withdrawal here, that's fine. But if you want to see anything specific, let me know. Otherwise, if you want to see another type of content, let me know. I am thinking of ideas on my own. That's my responsibility as a content creator, but that doesn't mean you don't also mean you don't take advice, or I should, listen to my audience and see if there's something that people want to see. 95% doesn't really matter. We should survive no matter what. But yeah, as we end this run, we're moving on to our next custom character, and if I forget that, I'll probably forget that. I really should have notes for what I'm doing on my next video, like direct next video, but without further ado, could have leveled up, didn't decide to, not going to take up much more of your time. If you want to support me, you know what to do. If you want to comment, you know what to do. I'll see you later. Thank you for watching, guys!